Hi everybody, this is Julissa. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel. Today is already Thursday, September 24th, 2020. So the other day I was driving, I was thinking about a subject I guess not a lot of people speak about, not a lot of people like to admit it, but I gotta say, and have to be honest here, that I do have an issue, and I'm trying my best to fix it because I feel like it's not a good example of a child of God. But one thing is, like, God wants you to have order in your life. You can't, those people, when you meet them, you can tell when they have a disorganized life. They're a chaos. You see them trying to pay at the pharmacy. They can't find anything in their purse, and then they take their purse and they flip it over, and they're looking for like their keys or their credit cards, and they look a complete mess. Like, their hair is messed up, their clothes are messed up. So it's something that we as Christians have to always remember, like, God is a God of order. Me personally, I do, it's so easy, like I say, well, during the quarantine, right, it's very easy to get off schedule. A lot of things happen. People are not having the same routines. A lot of people are working from home, and when everything got shut down, you're like, oh, I don't have to wake up early tomorrow, so turn off the alarm clock, and you go into bed late, waking up later, and and then the thing with that is, like, if you do it for a while, then you get used to it. And the thing with not having a life in order is, like, it's not a good example, first of all, as a Christian. We see in the Bible, in Genesis 1, chapter 1, verse 1, it says, in the beginning God created the heaven and the earth. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, let there be light. And there was light. And God saw that the light, that it was good, and God divided the light from the darkness. So you see how God started right away separating things and organizing things. And I say things, but you know what I mean. Like, it's just, he started right away. And God saw that the light was good, and God divided the light from the darkness. And God called the light day, and the darkness He called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day. So immediately, it's just organizing, and I feel like a lot of the times, especially me, when I'm doing a collection, like, I can come here every day and start sewing, and you're cutting out fabric, it stays on the floor, and like whatever, like, I'll clean when I have time. But if I don't keep up with that, it can be really dangerous. And I'm telling you from experience, in the sense that it can be a complete mess. And I remember one time I was working in a collection, and I was in and out of the studio, coming in like the whole week, leaving, and just not keeping up with the garbage, and picking up stuff, organizing things. I was working like 3 different probably outfits at one time, so I didn't really care much where I placed things. I knew when I came back, I knew that if I placed that dress, that it was gonna be there. So I didn't really worry about it. But I remember one time I had to do a fitting, and they're like, oh yeah, we'll be there at 4, and that was like the time that I will get here after my day job. So I went into panic. I'm like trying to leave early from my day job because I couldn't let people in here seeing the mess that I had. So I was like, if I get there maybe an hour before, I can come and clean up real quick. But the thing with that is, like, yes, sometimes we do get busy, and but you always have to keep up. Just keep up with the organizing. It's so much easier than to leave everything. Then I was rushing over here, getting over here, trying to clean, and checking out the window. I hope they're not here yet because I need more time. It's just like, when you do things like that, it's always like, it's not really a good feeling, in the sense that you feel like you're trying too hard to rush something, like, you're not really ready for them to come for the fitting because you're spending all the time cleaning up for them to come and not see your mess. But what I'm saying is, like, if a lot of people, they're so like into the gym and working out, but you see them like walking around their gym clothes, their hair is messed up, and it's like, I get it, like it's so easy to go to the gym and then go to the supermarket right after, because you have the time then. But I feel like we as representative of Christ, we have to remember that people are always looking at us, because we represent Christ. So they're looking for any excuse, to see, like, look at her, she's a Christian, look at what she's dressed like, and yes, you can say, I don't care about judgment, but you always have to remember, you represent Christ wherever you are. Like the other day I went to get my car washed, and I'm like, I need to keep up with this car washing, like I'm saying to myself, it's not that hard to just come and wash the car, because if somebody asks me for a ride and they get in my car, like, are you kidding me? Like, I was disappointed in myself. I have to keep up with it. You have to cleanse, like, when it comes to that, things that you think it's not a big deal. You can say to your friend if they ask for a ride, oh, sorry, my car is a mess. Like, I get it once in a while to be a mess, like, that's okay, but you have to keep up with it, because, like, honestly, I don't think that's good in the eyes of God, because we have to keep order in our lives. We have to keep order. It's so easy to just get off the routine and not keep up with stuff. We know we have laundry to do. Like, if you have the time today, take that hour and a half or more and do the laundry, because if you wait more time, more is gonna accumulate, and there you are, looking for stuff to wear. So just do the things when you have the time. As you know, in the Bible, God is a God of order. He doesn't want you to be a mess. That person that, like I was saying before, you see them trying to pay, they can't find anything, they can't find their keys, their life is a mess. And then a lot of the people that are like that, one thing is that people lose their keys because memory issues and whatever. That's separate. That's completely separate, guys, obviously. But I'm saying, like, one of the things that it looks like when people are like a mess, they call to make an appointment or to schedule something, they never write it down, and then they call 15 times, to ask the same question, because they didn't have the time to look at the calendar and write it down. They think it's easier to just call, just organize your life. You represent Christ wherever you go. So this is my message for today. I don't know who needs to hear this, but I hope it's helping somebody. Like I said, last week I had a conversation with myself. I said, I need to keep up with this car washing thing. It's not that hard. Like, it took me not that much time. I will try to go by, and I'm like, such a long line. I'm not gonna wait here. Like, it makes such a big difference, And I feel like a lot of times, how much time we spend doing this thing with the phone, like on our phones. And I'm not saying, like, this is YouTube, so it's a little ironic that I mentioned that, but that is the reality of it. Take the time, do what you can. If you think you're overwhelmed, yes, there are times that you realize, oh my goodness, I never got to that thing. I never got to, like, bring, like, let's say people order stuff online, right? They leave the boxes from the packages forever in their rooms, in their houses. Like, when you're going to work, grab that box with you. If you have a ton of clothes in your closet that you haven't worn in like 3+ years, you're not gonna wear them again, because if you did, you would have never bought new things. You're buying new things because you're not gonna wear them again. Take one Saturday, right? And I've done this before. Like, I took one Saturday, I'm like, I'm gonna clean out my closet, So I just went, how long was it that I wore this? And you started picking stuff. By the time I realized, I had 2 huge big garbage bags filled with clothes. And I'm like, I know myself, I don't have time to sell this on eBay or whatever. I don't have the time to go shipping and stuff and listing and measuring things. So I brought them to the Goodwill and just donated them. There's a lot of people who need clothes, especially during the pandemic, because there's a lot of people in need. A lot of people lost their job. So, we're starting a new season now. The fall season just began this week. This is just me advising you guys from stuff that I've done before, which I'm probably going to do that because at my classes, I need help. Like, I'm going to start getting rid of things. Especially, like I say, if you haven't worn them like 3 years plus, just start, you're not going to wear them again. That's just human behavior a lot of the time. So, in a lot of cases, so just take the time, maybe half an hour to an hour, fill your car with the clothes and bring them to the Goodwill. Salvation Army is also a place. There are stores that pay you, right, to bring your old clothes. I know there's another store that gives you like a coupon if you bring them to. Also, reach out to churches, people that need them these days, and just give them, and when you get home, it's the best feeling because not only you organize your closet, right, you organize yourself a little bit, you're helping people. So that's just ideas that I'm giving you, when it comes to like doing the laundry and whatever. Like, if you have the time, time is everything. If you have the time now, just go ahead. If it's accessible to you, just go ahead and take care of it. Just take care of it. Just keep up with it. This is how people get disorganized in their life, is they don't keep up with it. That's what it is. We probably seen this a lot during the pandemic, during the routine. Getting off the routine in March when people didn't have to report to work. I took my alarm off. I'm like, I don't even need to wake up at the same time. So, and then 2 weeks pass by and you're like, oh my gosh, I got a vacuum. Like, what's going on with me? What is my problem? And I think you seen that show. It was on TV. I don't know. It probably still is. Where people are just they call hoarders. They have a bunch of stuff in their house and stuff. But that's a spiritual issue also. I guarantee you guys that is a demon attacking that person to collect so many things. And also, I feel like a lot of people, that's an example of people who have let this organization take flight and like take over their lives. There are people who are overwhelmed, and they cannot seem to, organize themselves. They feel like it's too overwhelming, so why should I even start doing it? This is too much work, it's overwhelming. But I feel like if you start slowly, like you take, starting in October, every Saturday in October, I'm going to start organizing whatever it is, the garage, the studio. I'm going to start organizing my house, and I'm going to take out stuff that I don't use. I'm going to donate them. Every Saturday, I'm going to take 2 hours in October, every Saturday, just to do that. Once you start that, when it comes to, then November comes, you're like, oh, wow, I'm so happy that I was able to keep up with that. And look how much I accomplished. Because I feel like people who are hoarders, they let that get overwhelming, and then they don't have help, and then it becomes emotional, too much attachment, so it's a spiritual attack also. I believe that. So I don't know. Anyways, this message, somebody needed to hear this. I hope I'm helping somebody. So I just feel very led to talk about organization and being in order with your life. By saying that, I mean like organizing stuff that you have to organize. So whether it could also be your desk at work, there are people that at work, their desk is a mess. And you're like, how can these people have so many stuff? Like, it's just a lot of stuff. And when you have a lot of stuff, no matter how much you want to make it look nice, it will look like a mess. I think everything has to be done in moderation, guys. You cannot have so many coffee cups, just take 2 maybe to your workplace. You don't need 10 of them. You know, you don't need like decoration. Like, I just feel like it will look so much better, and that's just, you know, my personal opinion. Anyways, guys, that's my message for today. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing, and I hope this video really helped you guys. Thank you. Bye. God bless.